Hey, welcome to Candor with Katie. And tonight we're going to talk about what pets know that we forgot. And I'm in one of my favorite pet sitting places. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me take this off. Let me roll the intro, and then I will be back with you, everybody. Be right back. Boom! Let's do this. Oh, I didn't have my little face in there. But hi. Okay, let's crack one tonight, shall we? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to get too deep, but I do like Truly, and I do like the lemonade kind. This one is the black cherry lemonade. I'm using the lighting that I found around the house here, which is pretty awesome. There's Pam dancing to the theme. Well, right? I keep thinking I need to change it, but I still like it so much. It's old. But I should probably shorten it because I look at other YouTube stuff. Oh, Sid Squatch is sitting atop his perch, and he has some things to say about tonight also. So I'm going to show you this again because I was thinking about this because I've been doing a lot of dog sitting lately. What pets know about that we forgot. Okay. So it's interesting because I tend to dog sit. Well, pet sit. The last house I was at, I don't know if you ever, if you really paid attention to what I was writing down there, but I was pet sitting for 3 dogs, 3 cats, 2 bearded dragons, and a bird. And it was funny because they basically got to know me right away. So this is what I'm gonna talk about. Okay. So a dog meets you once, and now this could be a cat, this could be a bearded dragon, whatever. I'm gonna say dog for a lot of it because most of the sitting I do is for a dog. But a dog meets you once and decides, yeah, that's my human. I would follow her into traffic and possibly a Target. And the funny part about that is I always say, I show up at a house, they're like, well, I guess you just live here now. And that's why it's really important for me as a pet sitter. And I love, love, love doing it. That's why it's important for me to stay at people's houses because they have the same routines. They have the same couches. Look, there's Stella right there. I don't know where Ziggy is. Not Siggy, but Ziggy. And, we go on 2 to 3 walks a day here. Other places, I go on walks, but I got to make sure I stick to their meds. It's pretty crazy. So I was a little stressed out about the last one because I wanted to make sure I did everything right. And some pretty cool stuff happened. So like I said, dog meets you and they're like, yeah, you're cool. A person meets you and they're like, yeah, let me cross-reference this. Let me look at their LinkedIn profile. Let me check their zodiac sign. Let me check about their past trauma. They want to know more things about you. Pets don't overthink. They don't overthink. They don't care what you do for a living or who you work for. They don't scroll your past. They don't care what you, they don't scroll your past. They care about your tone. They care about your energy, and they care whether you smell like snacks. A dog doesn't ask, can I trust her long-term? They ask, does she feel safe right now? And that's it. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So if you're not a pet person, if you haven't been around pets a bunch, hopefully this episode will kind of interest you in some stuff. Sorry. Okay. So it's also living out of a suitcase and stuff. So I'm kind of I've been off. I'm struggling with a lot of stuff right now. And sometimes I'm barely holding it together. And I know it might not seem like that. There's just a lot of things that I'm dealing with and having to face and, all the things. And so I want people to look at other people for who they are and not judge so much. I'm in this phase right now where I'm really struggling and I want to do stuff for myself and I want to feel like that's okay. I I don't want to have to justify things, but I also don't want to feel so angry and depressed sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it's a struggle. It's a real struggle having 80 plus year old parents in a tiny house with one bathroom. And there's just a lot. So there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about. And what's been most interesting is what's been happening as I pet sit. Okay, so I see a comment. So Pam says, dogs are so smart when it comes to people. Always trust a dog's instincts. Exactly. And there was one friend of my brother's that I couldn't frickin' stand. And my dog, or me, that I had a long time ago, did not like him. And so there you go, right? So let's think about this. What pets know about trust that we forget, okay? So isn't it crazy how like someone can just hand you the keys to their house and leave town and their dog just looks at you and is like, all right, cool, you're in charge. That's cool. The owners are gone. A stranger walks in. The dog isn't filing paperwork. A cat isn't checking your background check. You feed them, you walk them. They eventually sleep with you, just like you've been there the whole time. It's part of their universe. You've been vetted. And that is an insane level of trust. Sometimes the animals do it right away. Okay, so like here's the deal. Here's Beetle. I'm going to change my background so that you can see this stuff better real quick. Boop. So here's Beetle. Do you think Beetle's relaxed? I think so. This is over my shoulder. Like you have no personal space, but I don't mind. And then here's Bill. I love that name for a dog. Just, climbing over my leg. Like, what are you doing? Like, hello, you're laying down. I need to lay on top of you here. And then this is the cat at the last place. I can't remember this cat's name. It was always like kind of questioning, but always came out when I had the food. This is one of my friend's dogs who's in my lap, like, hi. Of course, I want to take pictures because I'm like, how cute are these dogs? This is Cooper, aka Scoops, laying next to me very comfortably. And these are the two dogs I'm dog sitting right now. So they just they trust you. They trust you to feed them, to take them on a walk, to give them the meds that they need. Isn't that crazy? Because they don't trust blindly. So this is what we're going to talk about. They trust energy. Okay. They read it. They notice your tone, your pace, body language, breath, intonation. And they're especially a nervous system expert. So if you're calm, they soften. If you're chaotic, they step back. They aren't trying to see how much you own. They just trust regulation. Now, here's the weird part. This is where we confuse things, I think, because regulation is not the same thing as feeling grounded. Okay. Regulation is how your nervous system behaves. Grounded is how secure you feel in your life. Right now, I'm not feeling grounded for a whole lot of reasons. So this is interesting, right? I don't feel grounded. We all have seasons, right? The ups and downs. Especially lately, I'm just feeling unsettled. But animals don't pull away. They lean in, right? So even though I don't always feel grounded, I am regulated when I show up for these animals. Because, like I said, they don't care what job you have, how much you make, or if you got baggage, whether you're impressive, if you're overweight, underweight, tall, short. They don't care if you can leap over a single building jump over a tall building in a single bound. What is that phrase? They care if you feel safe. I mean, shouldn't that be more like that with humans too? So most of the time they decide this pretty quickly. This is interesting. So the place I just stayed with, I called it the zoo, with the 3 dogs, 3 cats, 2 bearded dragon, and a bird. One of the cats loves both its parents, of course, but isn't superly affectionate with one of the parents. And this cat was like coming out and going, like, hello, pay attention to me, look at me, rolling on its back on the floor, which is crazy, rubbing against my legs, following me around, wanting attention. And it was very crazy to me. I have a lot of other things to say about allergies and stuff because it was a lot of animals, but I really enjoyed it. It made me start thinking about things, right? It's not about being impressive or about performance. That's what's resonating, right? Like, is like who you are, your being. Okay, good. I have a comment. Pam, Noah's Ark. Exactly. Pam, As always, thank you for being here. You're the best. So look, it's the cat wasn't responding to status. It wasn't responding to charm or effort or frequency. It was responding to frequency, right? So we all like. I'm a vibe person. I say this all the time, and not woo woo. I feel it from other people. I don't know if you do, but animals definitely feel it. So I'm like a pet whisperer of sorts. It's kind of crazy. If you think about it, performance is trying to create an effect. Frequency is being in sync. So maybe this is what's cool. Maybe pets don't see the version of you that's spiraling in your head. Maybe they see the part of you that's already steady. Whoa. Mind blowing. Right? So maybe the goal isn't to trust like a dog. Maybe the goal is to be the kind of person a dog would trust instantly. And that's powerful. Right? I mean, you can just relate so many things. So you ask, are you steady? Are you consistent? Is your energy congruent? Do your actions match your tone? Because animals, like I said, they don't fall for performance. You can't oppress a Labrador. Well, maybe you could. I don't know. You can't manipulate a cat. You're either grounded or you're not. Or maybe you're more grounded than you give yourself credit for, which is another mind-blowing thing. Right? I mean, animals can teach us so much. The truth is your behavior is regulated, even if your thoughts aren't. Okay, so I show up to pet sit, I show up, I feed them, I move intentionally, I don't force, I don't demand affection. Well, sometimes I do, kissing on them, but that is grounded behavior. Okay, so I'm very excited because I kept it shorter tonight, and I'm going to tell you that you can email me here, getyourkeysfromkatie@gmail.com. I'm going to tell you like and subscribe. It'll make Sit Squatch very happy. Sit Squatch is tiny, tiny. But I'm going to give you final thoughts, okay? Maybe we don't need to be naive. Maybe we just need to be present. Pets don't trust a future version of you. They trust who walks through the door, right? So what if we practice showing up so consistently that trust became a byproduct? Now, this would be hard to do in like all aspects of your life. I'm consistent with a lot of things, but I'm not consistent with a lot of things. So that's just something to think about. But if we're thinking about how we are presenting ourselves to others, maybe think about, what would a pet think about me right now? You know, instead of demanding trust, become trustworthy in a way that doesn't need explanation. Boom. Okay. And last but not least, the animals already know who you are. Maybe it's time you did too. All right. So you don't have to go pet sitting. You don't have to test yourself on animals to see how they react to you. Just start thinking about this. Maybe it's time for you to really know who you are, right? And be you. Be wonderfully you. Okay. As Sit Squatch says, the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. He always gets so blurry. He loves you, and so do I. That's me. Horgan. Thanks for joining me. Oh, Pam, thanks for joining me. Always. And I will see you guys next week.